Slide 2. Bloom, Celsius, Red Bull, and Monster. These are just a few energy drink products of the over 500 on the market in the US, according to Harvard Health with an article from August 2025. From corporate employees to high school students, caffeine is something that has gone from somebody's morning coffee to a trend. However, most consumers don't know what they're getting into. Slide 3. My name is Rebecca Brower, and I love drinking fun drinks so much that I have my own Lotus bar at home, and I drink some sort of energy drink or coffee every day. However, I have fallen victim to the negative effects of high caffeine. Because a wide number of people who drink energy drinks don't necessarily know their problems, it is essential to make them known. During one Christmas, I bought a Celsius while I was out shopping with my family. I had never had a canned energy drink with as high caffeine as a Celsius did, and I honestly had no idea how much caffeine was in it. I drank the whole thing at a fair pace, but it had disastrous effects on me, and it made me realize how important being conscious and aware of your caffeine intake truly is. Slide 4. One of the biggest problems with mass consumption of energy drinks is the high levels of caffeine in a singular drink. But how much is too much? According to the Mayo Clinic staff, author of the article Caffeine, How Much is Too Much, published February 2025, the recommended caffeine intake for full-grown adults is 400 milligrams per day. Slide 5. A Celsius alone has 200 milligrams per drink, which is half of the recommended value for adults alone. However, there are some lower caffeinated options like Red Bull, most sodas, and even kombucha. However, just because they have low levels of caffeine doesn't mean that it doesn't add up. Caffeine is also naturally occurring and sometimes can be looked over and accidentally consumed, which can get dangerous quick. Slide 6. According to Novella Liu, author of 23 caffeinated drinks ranked by caffeine levels, published in April 2026, caffeine stays in your system for up to 12 hours, even if it feels like it's worn off. The consumption of 1,200 milligrams of caffeine can lead to seizures, and over 10,000 milligrams of caffeine can be life-threatening. It is very important to know exactly what you're drinking. Slide 7. Not only do most energy drinks contain an unhealthy amount of caffeine, but they also contain many other ingredients that are bad for your body. According to an article titled What Ingredients Are Bad in Energy Drinks, published in January 2026, anywhere from 30 to 70 grams of added sugar are in every drink. This can spike your glucose and put metabolic strain on your body. If you keep consuming these drinks regularly, you could be subject to decreased insulin sensitivity, which is a risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Slide 8. Along with sugar, an ingredient in energy drinks is taurine. The article, The Most Dangerous Ingredients in Energy Drinks, according to dietitians, published March 2021, says that taurine, when combined with caffeine, can boost your blood pressure and your heart rate. Not only that, but high amounts of taurine in your younger years can affect your development. While caffeine can be dangerous in full-grown adults, it is even more risky for youths. The consumption of energy drinks has been gaining traction in the younger audience and is leading to dangerous effects. Riley Children's Health features an article titled How Much Caffeine is Safe for Your Teen, published in February 2025. It says that caffeine-related emergency room visits have doubled among middle and high school students in the last 6 years. These kids don't know what they are drinking, and if they do, they don't realize how hurtful it can be. Riley Children's Health goes on to say that kids ages 12 to 18 are recommended to have 100 milligrams of caffeine per day. This means that drinks like Celsius, Alani, and Bloom, and other highly caffeinated coffees are immediately out of the picture. However, this is not the case. 70% of kids in the United States drink caffeine every day. Slide 9. Not only do large amounts of caffeine have the same effects mentioned earlier, but can also lead to higher levels of stress hormones, increased caffeine cravings, withdrawal symptoms, and can even lead to difficulty limiting other addictive substances, such as nicotine and alcohol. Slide 10. Kids consuming these drinks mindlessly is dangerous. With this in mind, it is important to not blame others for not knowing. The reason that I got sick from drinking a Celsius may have been because it had high levels of caffeine, but was also because I didn't know what I was drinking. Some drinks don't even list caffeine levels, or they put it in small print in hard-to-find places. You can't stop people from drinking energy drinks altogether, but you can give them warnings and educate them on what they're actually drinking. Slide 11. By requiring a label that lists how much caffeine is in the drink, which, according to the ABA, the American Beverage Association guidelines, accessed October 15, 2026, it is not required, but still voluntarily followed by most companies, which properly warns others and allows them to make healthy decisions. It would be essential to have this on front of the can or in a big enough design where it can be easily viewed. Critics may say that this won't stop anyone from drinking high caffeinated energy drinks, and that most companies already do this anyway, so there's still a problem with high caffeine consumption. While you may not be able to stop people from consuming too much caffeine, you can try your best to educate others. Only 95% of energy drink manufacturers are part of the ABA and properly label their drinks. At the end of the day, it is up to each individual person as to what they eat or drink. You can't force someone to not drink a Celsius or to limit their children's consumption of caffeine. The best you can do is to educate others and show them the truth. For this reason, maybe if I had known how much caffeine was in a Celsius, I wouldn't have chosen that drink, or I would have consumed it slower. If clearer warning labels or the amount of caffeine was made known in a more obvious way, consumers would know exactly what they're drinking. It is so important to know what is going on in your body. You could go to the grocery store, look at every single energy drink, and compare the amount of caffeine and the ingredients of each drink, and know that those companies aren't trying to hide anything from you. Slide 12. If these companies don't adopt the proper precautions, more so than what is already in place, customers will continue to drink in oblivion. This could lead to many dangers, including an increase in hospital visits. Without knowing how much caffeine is in your drink, or having it in hard-to-find places, where children may often not even look, you are potentially putting yourself in danger by consuming it. With this in mind, it is important to realize that we need to take action for our futures. I may have had to learn how powerful energy drinks are the hard way, but that doesn't mean that every other teen has to as well. While there are many ways to approach this and stop misinformation on energy drinks, it is also important to be realistic. You can't stop anyone from drinking what they want to drink. It is important to educate others in what they are getting themselves into. If you have kids, make sure to properly teach them the dangers of energy drinks. If used in the right way, they are completely harmless. But the absence of knowledge of what is in them can hurt others, and you can hurt yourself. Not only should we educate others and ourselves in the knowledge of energy drinks, but if energy drink manufacturers join the ABA and label their drinks correctly, there will be no misunderstandings. These labels shouldn't be small or they shouldn't be hidden. They should be in plain sight where even teenagers can glance and clearly see how much caffeine they're drinking. In review, energy drinks can be dangerous. High levels of caffeine, unhealthy ingredients, and teen consumption can lead to disastrous effects. It is essential to take action and to raise awareness for what people are drinking. Slide 13. Even if you haven't had a run-in with energy drinks or have built up a tolerance to them, it is still an important matter. Young adults and kids around the country are being introduced to unhealthy and unsafe energy drinks, and they may not even know how much caffeine they contain. If energy drinks properly and obviously display what is inside, then maybe we can help the future generation to be aware of what they put in their bodies. Thank you.